The mystery of the lost toys. Once upon a time, there was a wise who discovered where the lost toys went. Would you like to solve the mystery? Then, pay close attention, because I'm going to tell you. She didn't like going to school. Every morning, it was very hard for her to get out of bed. She always thought the same thing.
I wish I were a toy and could stay home to play all day with them.
How she envied them. The toys did nothing but play. She knew that when she was at school, her toys were still playing. When she came home, none of them were in the same place she had left them. The racetrack for her cars wasn't where she had left it. She always found it stored in its box. The basketball hoop she hung on the wall was now in her closet. Her superhero figures weren't on the windowsill. Instead, they were neatly placed in their boxes on the shelf. All of her toys had moved. And that could only mean one thing. Someone was playing with them. But who could it be? One day, as she was walking home from school, she noticed a large shadow over her house. Who could that shadow belong to? She looked up at the sky, but it vanished in the blink of an eye. It was so fast. When she arrived home, everything was as usual, except for her room. Nothing was as she had left it. The toys were picked up. She took a quick glance around. Something was missing. She could feel it. But what was it? She looked at the corner of her room. Where was the teddy bear her grandparents had given her? She didn't play with it much, but she liked to see it in the corner of her room because, when the lights were off at night, she felt that Bear was protecting her from nightmares. Who had taken her teddy bear? She was sure that whoever played with her toys while she was at school was responsible. Suddenly, she remembered the huge shadow she had seen above her house. Maybe it would be returned the next day. Sometimes, when a toy was missing, it appeared again the next day, as if by magic. The next day, when she got home, she saw the shadow again, but this time she thought she saw a tail. It wasn't the tail of an animal, or at least not one she recognized. However, that tail seemed familiar, like she had seen it somewhere before. She rushed to her room, and sure enough, the teddy bear was still missing, and now her crying doll was gone as well. She hadn't played with it for a while, but she had always loved its little face. So cute. Had the same person who took the teddy bear taken the doll too? She remembered that shadow again, the tail she had seen, and for a moment she thought she had also seen wings. But those wings didn't seem to belong to any animal she knew. Still, they seemed familiar. That evening, she went into her room, and to her surprise, everything was just as she had left it. The toys were exactly where she had placed them. Her bed was still unmade. She remembered the huge shadow, the tail and the wings, and that feeling of familiarity. Those wings and that tail. Where had she seen them before? She began searching through her books, and suddenly she remembered having seen something similar in a story. She had a chest full of books and stories. One by one, she pulled them out, flipping through them. Some of them she knew so well that she could recite them by heart. How she loved them! She fondly remembered the story, The Doll Hospital, which had helped her not be afraid of going to the doctor, or the one about Cloud and the Rainbow, which had helped her understand where her little cat Dulcie had gone. She was sure that Dulcie was with Cloud, waiting by the rainbow for her. Suddenly, something caught her eye. An eye was staring at her from the cover of a book. Without even opening it, she knew that the picture she was looking for was inside. It was the Big Book of Dragons. Yes! The tail and the wings she had seen were from a dragon. She knew she had seen them before. Suddenly, her mother's voice called her from the kitchen.
Clean your room and make your bed. I didn't have time to do it today.
It couldn't be her mother who had been playing with her toys. It was the dragon. She remembered the huge shadow, the tail, the wings. it could only be her mother, the dragon who had taken the toys so that other children could play with them.
Yes, that's it!
She thought confidently. That afternoon, while setting the table, she asked her mother if she knew where her lost toys were.
Mom, do you know where my teddy bear and my crying doll are?
Of course I know. I donated them so other children could keep playing with them. You weren't playing with them anymore, and with the money from your piggy bank, you can buy new toys.
I knew it!
She replied with a smile.
What did you know, sweetheart?
Nothing, Mom, just my little things.
And winking at her, she sat down at the kitchen table. Now she knew the truth. The toys weren't lost, they were just playing with other children. And those other children had mums who, like her mother, were dragons.
And so, dear wise children, we learn that the toys weren't lost at all. They simply found new hands to share the joy of playing. And the most important thing, when we no longer need them, we can give them a second life so they can bring happiness to others.
And you know what they say? Story told, smile if you liked it.